So I just shared my mastery story, and it was a relief. It was great. It was very interesting. I had a plan of what I was going to share, and I wanted to go first. And then I listened to so many other people present, and I wound up going today. And I'm so glad I did, because it really changed the message that I gave. So yeah, overall it was an amazing experience. The experience was, I spoke about one incident in my life that really has an influence to this day, in both a very positive sense and a negative sense. And that was one of the last days that I spent with my first daughter in the hospital. She was intubated. She had a tube in her mouth, and she was connected to a ventilator. And that was a temporary setup. So we had to make a decision about whether to take that tube out and either give her surgery so that it would connect to her throat and stay there permanently, or to just take it out. And we didn't know what would happen in either case. We didn't know how functional she would be. And this is something I confronted many times mentally. I relive it, and it's hard for me. So I invited everyone in the room to close their eyes and join me in that room. And I painted the picture of the hospital room, and I asked each of them to make that decision. And then I asked everyone if they made the right decision. And I realize now, and I said this to the crowd, that the decision didn't matter. She was going to die, no matter what we picked. And I think that decision was there for a reason, to give me the illusion of control, to say, hey, you can control her fate. I didn't know what the best option was. The real choice there was, could I let her in and love her despite all the pain that we went through? And during that kind of meditation, I asked everyone to whisper a message into her ear and into our ears. And I asked everybody in the crowd, would you consider your message that you gave us completely about love? And everybody's hand went up. It's 100% about love. And then I asked, was anyone a little bit annoyed with the parents in the room? And one hand went up. It was mine. I asked, did anyone curse at the father? One hand went up. It was mine. I asked anyone if they told the father, what are you doing? You're the dad. You're supposed to protect this little girl. You're supposed to make your wife happy. She's crying. One hand. And then I asked, if you're really trying to save this girl, if you're giving your all, then why are you still breathing? One hand. And then I made a declaration, and I said, I am going to stop bullying my past self. I'm going to let myself be. And what I've learned is that you can go back in time. You can change the past if you send love. If you send love back, it is received. And all those people in the room sent me love. I'm trying to send love back. I'm working on that. And when you send anything back other than love, if you send back any ill will, it will come back with a hard punch. I said it's like going punch for punch with Mike Tyson. And I have physical scars from illnesses to prove it. And I'm not the only one in the room. You cannot send negative emotion back, only love. And then I told everyone in the room, did you notice that everyone in the room sent back love except for one person? And I asked them to think about what they went through. Abuse, problems with family or friends, times when they were too critical to themselves, and asked them, are they giving 100% love to themselves? So that was basically it, and I think it was helpful. And the last thing that I added is that I thought was really beautiful is that our daughter, who did wind up dying shortly after that day, her name was Eliana, which in Hebrew means, my God has answered. And I said that her name was just perfect. After Eliana died, the next couple of years weren't any easier. We got pregnant again, and contrary to what we had thought during the pregnancy, our second daughter, Liat, had the same genetic disorder as Eliana, and she suffered the same fate. After that, I grew sick with colitis, and we spent more time in hospital. And one of the things that really carried us throughout all this, or our goal at least, was to find a group that we could speak to. So we went to a bereavement group, other parents that had lost kids like us, and it just didn't work. We tried lots of bereavement groups. It just didn't feel like our people. So we decided to adopt, and to kick off the adoption process, one of the things you do is you meet other prospective parents. And in this group of people, that we met, there was two gay men, gay couple. There was a woman that was adopting because she was infertile since the time she was a little girl. And she wasn't really sad about that per se, because that's kind of how she grew up. She always knew she couldn't have kids. There was a couple that was 23 years old, husband and wife. They had been trying to have kids for 5 years, and they were determined they were going to adopt. And they said a lot of people told them they were too young, and they said, we don't give a damn. We know who we are. And this diverse group of people, we landed. We said, this is our tribe, right? We feel at home. No one in the group lost a kid, but it felt at home. And when I came to Growth U, that is what I hope to find in another form, people that kind of philosophize and have hope like I do, and I found it here. And that's why, even though I've only been here 30 days in, I knew from day one I've arrived. These are my people. So I joined Mastery with Rod 30 days ago. And right away from day one, I knew that these people were my tribe. There's various races and religions and ages and body types, and people come from various locations, and none of that matters. I feel at home. So right away, as soon as I signed up, I knew this was great. I heard about the retreat. A week later, I signed up immediately with no regrets. And having come, I know this is my spot. So 30 days in, and I love it. And that is a good question. What's to come later? I still am, I get overly sensitive sometimes. If someone at work says something aggressive to me, I'll say something aggressive back. And that is my hope, to peel back and respond with love. I get short with my wife sometimes. I'm almost kind of bratty with her sometimes. And I don't want to do that. I want to show her nothing but love and be a great husband. I want to show this to my children. I want to be an example of showing love in the face of anything. Even if there's aggression, I will always want to respond with love, and that's my biggest hope, and I'm confident that that's who I'll become, and that's what I'll learn with Mastery with Rod. Mastery, to me, the difference between the master and the novice, I believe, is not great. I believe the way to become a master is almost comfort. The analogy I would use is the runner. The professional marathoner, that if you asked, oh, were you tired of the marathon? They would say, of course. But that's what I do. I'm comfortable with it. So mastery to me is not the end state where I'm done and I've learned everything. It's accepting it internally and saying, I understand these concepts. I'm going to keep learning them. I'm comfortable with what I don't know. And I truly believe and truly declare that I am a master. My declaration is that I am going to forgive myself and be gentle with myself and extend love. Ever since my girls died, I have been ruminating almost daily about 4 different movies. And I have scene after scene in my mind, and I have tried to write them down, and I burst out in tears. And I declare that I will never quit. I want to run a race. I want to run, there's a race in Colorado, in Leadville, it's 100 miles. That I wanted to run, and I said, wait a minute, that's for elite runners. And I said, wait a minute, who the hell says I am not elite? I am going to run that race. And that's my declaration. And these inspirational thoughts, this fearlessness about changing, that's what I want to share with others. This talk has been in the works for 8 years. Wow. So if you would all join me, if everyone could close their eyes. And I want to take you to a place this is my first meditation I've ever guided anyone in, so if you come out feeling very stressed, don't have me as your meditation teacher in the future. So everyone close your eyes, take a deep breath in and let it go. Let's relax. I see you all as angels, so right now that's what you're going to become. Imagine wings sprouting from your back, and extend them and start to flap, and your body lifts and you feel yourself floating. You are completely weightless. There's no weight on your shoulders. There's no weight under your feet. And you fly. You have angel powers. You can fly through the roof, and now you're in the sky in the clouds. Now we can hang out a bit. You can dive. You can do somersaults. It's fun. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use our angel powers, and we're going to change where we are. On the count of 3. We're moving locations. We appear. Now it's 8 years ago. It's 2010. You're in Seattle, Washington. It's a sunny day. You're outside a children's hospital. It's blue and it's yellow. And we fly in through a window. And you're in a room. It's the ICU. And there's nurses and there's doctors. There's beeps going off. Can you see the room? There's the apron. In the middle of the floor, there's 2 parents. They're sitting in hospital chairs side by side. They look disheveled. They haven't showered in a while. They haven't eaten. They haven't had anything to drink. And in front of them, in the bed, is a 5-month-old beautiful girl, Eliana. She's in a onesie. There's little bears on it. And she's got tiny, smooth hands. She likes to keep them in fists, but they're so smooth. Her cheeks are so smooth. Beautiful nose, beautiful eyes. Her hair, light brown hair, it's fuzzy. She has a tube in her mouth. And it's taped to her mouth, and it's hooked to a ventilator. You're an angel. You're there. No one knows, but they can feel you. Help this little girl. Go over, touch her chest. She'll feel it. Go down, go to her little ear. Whisper a message. She won't hear you, but she will feel it. Now go back to those parents. They need your help. Touch them. Give them a hug. They'll get some comfort from that. Now whisper a message to them. Tell them something. Now it's just not any ordinary day. There's something to be done. That was the easy part as angels. You have a hard part coming up. We have to make a decision. We have 3 choices. We can leave that tube in the baby's mouth, but it's not comfortable for her, and we can't leave it in that long. So we could leave it in today and make the decision tomorrow. The second option is to take it out and have surgery. Put a hole in her throat and attach the tube that way. She'll live with that. Maybe. Maybe for years. Maybe not. The last option is we can take the tube out. We don't know what will happen, but she probably won't live that long. Now here's the tough part, angels. It is your call, and it's time to decide. I want you to whisper the answer into the parents' ears. Okay, we did our part. Extend those wings. Start to flap. You're going to go back up to the clouds. Got to lighten things up. You can do a few more somersaults if you want. Okay. And everyone, please take a deep breath and exhale. You can start to wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit. And slowly, when you're ready, you can start to open your eyes. Thank you. The message that you gave to the parents, could I see it by a show of hands? Would you consider it a message of love that you gave? Very good. Good, thank you. It's good you're in the front row. It's good. Everyone's gone catatonic. Was anyone a little bit annoyed by the parents? Raise your hand if that's true. Anyone a little pissed off at them? Did anyone curse at the father? Did anyone tell the father, this is your job to save this girl? Make your wife happy? Did anyone tell the father that if you're really here to save her and you're doing everything, then why the hell are you still breathing? This little girl is going to die. What's the right choice of the 3? It doesn't matter. she's not going to make it. That's not what it's about. That option there, I see it there as a distraction to give me the illusion that I was in control of what was going to happen. The choice was, could I take in this moment? Could I take in my daughter and love her despite all the pain? I'm going to make a declaration here. And this is as of yesterday because of the beautiful talks that you guys make. I am going to stop being a bully. I'm not going to say those horrible things to my past self anymore. I'll tell you, there are multiple people in this room that can prove it. If you try and send any ill feelings back to the past, anger, hate, it comes back with a wallop. It is like going punch for punch with Mike Tyson. How would that go? I've got scars to prove it, and I'm not the only one. You can time travel, I believe in it. But the only thing that can go back is love. If you send love back and you open your eyes, it is a brand new present. Think of your own big pain points. Your parents, siblings, abuse that you suffered, right? Everyone in this room, there was one person in this room that was mean to those people. Can you say the same thing when you go back and see your past self? Do you give nothing but love? I think some people in this room actually do. But if not, please don't have that double standard. Do you think I ever once whispered anything of blame or anger in my daughter's ear? No. Did I ever get angry at her for being sick? Of course not. Why should I do that to myself? As soon as my wife got pregnant, we named her Eliana. And I know one person does, but does anyone else in this room know what that means? It's Hebrew for my God has answered. She had the name that was perfect for her. Thank you.